Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Cities Skylines Mass Transit. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back for part 6 of our Mass Transit Let's Play, where things are going pretty darn well indeed. If you're watching this video on the day that it goes out, that being Thursday the 18th of May, and today's the big day, transit fans. Today's the day that Mass Transit releases. So, I have a question for you. What's the first crazy thing you're gonna build in this new DLC for Cities Skylines? Leave your answers in the comments below and let me know. I'm curious. Now, without any further ado, let's get back to the wonderful city of Nerdshire, where I have some important business to attend to. I need to increase the taxes for high-density buildings, because I haven't done that yet, and that's not going to be... well, that's not going to be very good in terms of making money, now is it? So the taxes have come up just a little bit there, and I've been doing some experimenting between episodes. I've put about an hour into this city. I didn't save it because I didn't want to make progress, I just wanted to experiment. And something I was toying around with was actually the monorail system. Now, the monorail system you may have seen. I have a full video showing off the monorails and all that stuff. I do encourage you to go and check that out if you haven't seen a lot of the stuff in Mass Transit yet. But the monorails are something you can place above roads. So as you can see, I can connect this station like that. It has a road going underneath it, and the monorails can also run above roads in general. Again, as you can sort of see with this road here. Now, what's weird about the monorails is I ran into what I would call a pretty substantial issue where people... so I had a monorail on Raymond Street here. I had a station like here, and I had a station like here. And people in like these buildings here were complaining about noise, and then were dying, because noise in this game is just a sickness, and Sims can die from sickness. So they were getting sick off of the noise pollution, and they were just dying. And it was because of the monorails. And these are people that are like a full block away. I'd even gone so far as to change the roads to have trees on them, which, so the 2-lane road with trees is, a 2-lane road with decorative trees. Decorations lower noise pollution and supports low traffic and increases land value. So we should have had lower noise pollution. People were still dying. People were still dropping dead all over the place. It was really odd. And the reason I bring that up is because today I was really hoping I could have some fun with monorails and put a bunch of monorails going around Sheffield Park and going up into Spruce Hills and all of that stuff. And I was really wanting to do that. But I'm not going to, because in order to do that, I would need to like fill at least a full block, maybe 2, with offices and commercial buildings before we can then put any residential stuff in there. So it's a bit of a pain, really. It's a really weird thing that the monorails have such a negative impact on the area that they're in. That's a really, really weird choice. Anyway, let's go ahead and start actually, dezoning some stuff here and getting some high-density residential in there. I also want to tear out this strip of low-density stuff and replace it with... yeah, I'll go for commercial. Why not? Go for a big old strip of commercial. We'll do the same just over here as well. A bit of commercial there. I'd like to throw some offices between the elementary school and the high school there. And we'll let that all redevelop. Hopefully that's going to increase the population quite nicely. We do have a fair few decently sized buildings coming in over here. I'm also thinking it might be an idea to get some parks in here, because technically the leisure is pretty bad, and that would imply that the land value is also pretty bad. So it might be an idea to... oh wow, I just noticed what effect my little car parks can have here. That's kind of funny. Let me add 2 of those in for a second and see just what exactly that does for the local people. Yeah, a very slight boost to leisure in the local area is what happens there. I'm gonna keep those. I'm gonna keep them. They're kind of silly. But I want to get some actual parks in here because we haven't got any yet. So I'm thinking we'll go for something like, we could go for this giant one. It doesn't really fit though. We could throw this one in over here if we wanted to. I think I will, just to increase the leisure and land value around there a little bit. I would like to get another one down here, I think. So something like that. And maybe we'll add another one on this side of the road too. Just again to bring the leisure and land value up a little bit and just cheer people up ever so slightly. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we'll see some good stuff out of that. It does look like we've got some upgrades going on around the place as well, so people are definitely keen for it. Also, a lot of people using my parking lots there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just change that little bit of road to have grass on it. So people aren't going to be parking on the roads. You know, I've realized I'm going to put more of those parking lots in there, because aesthetically speaking... Oh, that doesn't fit. Well, that's a bit of a pain. Alright. Well, I'll put them in sort of like that for the time being. I'll put some grass like that. I think that looks quite nice, though. And by the way, for those curious, I made these little parking lots. I don't remember when, but I made them a while ago, and I'm just looking at it here, and it looks really nice having these parking lots like alongside all these residential buildings. I like to think that people are, you know, parking in those and going into their home. That's pretty cool. I really, really like that. Let's get another one there. Yeah, I'm actually a really big fan of that. I think that looks really cool. Let's upgrade that road as well. And we could upgrade this one too if we wanted, but I don't think I will. I think I'll upgrade that one. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's pretty cool. We got some proper little parking lots in there amongst the residential places. That'll bring the leisure up a bit. That'll hopefully bring the land value up a bit. That'll make people a little bit happier as well. Money's looking pretty good. So, ooh, we are having some issues over here, though. Not enough buyers for products. I can see how that would be a problem. I can definitely see how that would be a problem. How are the blimps doing? They're kind of popular. Do we have a bus that runs out here? You know what? I don't. No, we don't. Okay. We should probably get one that runs out here, shouldn't we? That's probably something worth looking into. Although, honestly, redoing my bus lines is probably not a bad idea either. So let me just delete all of my current bus lines and redo those. I want one bus line that goes out to that industrial area as well. And I want, I can see room for 5 bus lines here. Yeah. Spruce Park, Spruce Hills, Sunset Heights, Sheffield Park, and this area down here as well. I think that'd be good. So I want a bus that starts there, goes there, goes there, and there. We can have a stop in that spot, that spot. We'll have one there and there. And then we want to do the same, sort of going in this direction. Yeah, so this is going to sort of loop around Sheffield Park, which is fine. 2 stops there, 1 there, and there. There, there, and down there. So that should be fine. Then we want one for Spruce Hills as well. So we're going to do pretty much exactly the same thing. They're going to sort of go opposite each other. That one's going to go that spot. That one's going to stop in front of the elementary school. It's going to stop up there. It's going to stop there, there, and there. So 3 bus lines that you can, you can get on a bus down here, and you can make your way up here eventually. So that should be fine. What I then want to do is I'm going to have a bus that starts down here, has a stop at that corner, goes up to about there. We'll have a stop in that spot. We'll have one there as well. We'll have one there and down there. So the crossover point for these 2 lines is going to be that station there, or that stop just there. And this one's going to be a little bit of a shorter line, but that's kind of okay. We'll have a stop there, bring this down to that point, and that point. So that should be totally fine. That should work. What I'm thinking, though, is that we could also do a bus line that goes like this. So that line is going to be one that sort of loops around and is a bit of a crossover for people that want to go around the city. So that can come the whole way down. We'll not have it go to there, but we'll have it go to there. And it's going to stop in all of these places. We'll skip that one and go to there. So that just loops around underneath the highway and lets you get around the city nice and easily. That's going to be bus line 6. We're going to change that line to be a shade of red. Just so we know what that line does. And what I'm hoping is that we're going to see the buses be a little bit more efficient. But what I'm also thinking is I could set up this red line a little bit. We'll start a new line from there. And we'll bring... Oh, you know what? That red line might have actually been an idea to extend a stop from it that comes in, stops underneath there, and goes back out. Because what that does is it gives everybody an opportunity to get out to this industrial zone. And I think that's going to be really good. I think that's going to be a really good idea. So that can go out like to there, for example, and we'll add a stop there as well. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. So the red line is the one that not only merges the city in terms of bus lines, but it also gets people out to the industrial zone. I think that's going to be good. I do also want to get some cargo trains in here. I think that's going to be something that's really important to do. But something else I want to do is also upgrade Raymond Street here, because it's still technically only 2 lanes, and it's going into 3 lanes. And there's a lot of traffic on this street as well. So, since it connects to a highway, I'm thinking, well, you know what? I'll go with 2 lanes for the time being. Just to be, you know, safe. I don't want to overdo it. I only want to upgrade to 6 lanes when necessary, and there's so many people waiting for buses there. That is kind of nuts to see. A lot of people waiting for the red line. Oh, that's really cool. A lot of people waiting for the red line there. Not that many there. No, not that many there either. It looks like they're just waiting at the last stop. And I imagine they're waiting there because that is the stop that'll take them straight out to the industrial zone. Oh, that's so cool, man. I'm so happy with this. I really, really am. What's up with this? Facility empty. Oh! Oh, it's about time. It is about time that we got some of these landfills empty. That makes me incredibly happy right there. That really, really does make me so happy. Interestingly, seems like we're having a bit of a death wave across the city that might be tied to the fact that we are emptying another landfill over here. I'm definitely not seeing as many garbage trucks around here as I'd like to be, but we'll not worry too much about that. Let me have a look. Yeah, there's a decent number of people using it. How are we looking for the bus lines then? I imagine the number of people using the buses is going to drastically increase as time goes by. Because there's always a decent number on those red lines. What I'm most interested in, though, is how many people are actually going to get off of the first red line bus that comes in here. That's what I want to know. Speaking of, where are the red line buses that are supposed to be coming out of here? There's one. How many people are on you? Let's have a look. 15. Okay, not that many. But that's fine. I'm not too worried. I like this. Yeah, it definitely seems like we're having a bit of a death wave at the moment. It is probably tied to some pretty poor garbage collection. Definitely think that's probably a culprit. But we'll not worry too much about that. We'll not stress about it too much. I'll tell you what I would... Oh, hello. What's up with you? Too few services. What services do you not have? What have we not got over here? So medical's not really there. Fire coverage isn't really there. Policing's not really there. Okay, I can see why you're complaining. Let me throw a small police station... there. Just there. Small police station just to sort of cover that corner. In terms of a fire station, we actually do have fire coverage down there. It might be an idea to add a large station since we can technically afford one. So I'm going to add a large fire station to that road there. And that'll give us really good coverage on that side of the city. And then I think I'm going to move this little firehouse to that spot. Just so we get a bit of a boost to fire coverage down there. It does seem like all of those buildings have abandoned that had the too few services complaint. Medical care really is the big one at the moment, and we only have one medical. We have 2 medical clinics. Healthcare availability seems okay. We get the crematoriums at 15,000, which we're almost there. We're almost at 15,000, so hopefully we can reach that. I would really like to do something with this road as well. I'd really like to find a way to make this road a bit more efficient. And I'm thinking that the way to do that might be... Oh, I don't really know, to be honest. It's a tricky one. I mean, I could turn off traffic lights here. And that would probably help, to be honest. If I set a stop sign there and I set a stop sign there as well. Eventually, that would probably help to get the traffic moving, but it's not exactly realistic, is it? It's a little bit out there as ideas go, and I do like having the traffic lights there. Yeah, let me leave those on. Let me leave the traffic lights on. It helps the traffic on the highway to flow a little bit better. To be honest, what might just be the best idea is to bring another stretch of highway sort of over here as a bit of another entrance to the city. But that would require us to get the population of 15,000 so we can buy this tile over here. Oh, well, actually, we need to buy both of them. Probably. If we wanted to fit this thing in here properly, we need both tiles. But you know what? I think I'm going to try it. I think we're going to give this a shot. So let me get this road here. Let me extend it as far as I can get it to go. Let me do the same up here. Like so. And let me do the same here. So we need to find a way to get a highway out that way. Now the gap that I'm looking at here is a bit odd, really. I'm not really sure how this is going to work. So it's 1,000 is the gap that we'd be working with here. So if I really wanted this to work properly, the road, I think it would go from there. So we go 10 and up. Then the gap would be 1,000. Oh boy. That's going to be interesting. So what exactly is what's 1,000 on this? On this one, what's 1,000? What costs me 1,000? That costs me 1,000. Okay. So that road needs to be a little bit shorter, is what that tells me. So that's 900. That's 990. Is that what I need it to be? Is that 1,000? That's 900. What? Why did the price just suddenly change? Or was I using the wrong road? I might have been. Right, that's 1,000, so that's what we need. Okay. So we go out 10, and we go up. And we go 10. And we go... Where's 10? 10 is there. And we go up again. We do the same on this side. And we go up. And the highway goes between that, basically. That's the way it's going to work. Okay. I'm trying to figure this out in my head at the moment. I think the gap we would have would be something like this. I think. I'm not entirely certain. This might be a little bit bigger than the other highway. Let's have a look. No, that actually looks about spot on, actually. Okay. No, I'm feeling good about this. Let me extend this whole thing up then. So, to there. And to there. And to, about there. then that's the gap that we want. So that just comes the whole way down and connects like that. Okay. Right, we're going to get a new highway in here. It's going to be a new entrance to the city, and it's going to be very exciting indeed. So you connect to there. And eventually we just need to figure out how we're going to connect it over to there. So we'll do that in just a moment. What I want to do first is I want to get the various connections to the highway done. I want to get those done before we... I think that's what I want there, isn't it? Probably. I want to get these connections done before we actually connect it to anything else, because the connecting it to everything else part is going to be one of two things. Either really tedious or fairly easy, if we're being honest. This as well is probably going to bridge across. So let's do that. I know we don't need this giant bridge, but we'll get it anyway. They also don't really line up, but... Oh wow, that one went to a completely different height as well. Can I get these to... Actually... No. Okay, we're not doing the giant bridge thing. We are absolutely not doing that. Let me just go like... to there. So that should be fine. Then all I need to do is link them together. And that will work in pretty much exactly the same way that the other stretch of highway works as well. Turn you around and there we go. Okay, so you get rotated, and you get rotated. Let's get the connections up for here. So this one goes up like that, and this one goes down like that. And then the one opposite goes up, and this one goes down. Let's just have the two connections for the time being, just to make things a little easier. So like that, like that, like that. And then this one is pretty much exactly the same. So we go out about 3 units and in, oh, hold on. In, and there we go. All right. So that's the highway pretty much set up. What way did I do this over here? 2 lanes go into 1. You know, looking at that, it would probably make more sense just to turn that whole thing into, well, this one into 1 lane. Same with that one. That makes sense having it as 2 because you get some turning lanes there. Honestly, the whole thing could be 2 there. Again, just to make things a little easier. So the off ramps are going to be 2 lanes. That can't be upgraded, really? That's odd. There we go. So 2 lanes and 2 lanes. 2 lanes and 2 lanes. Then the on-ramps are going to be 1. Then these bits here are technically supposed to be 4 lanes. And the same with these guys in between as well. And same with these guys here as well. Oh, that's being odd. Oh, did not want to do that. Let's just upgrade the whole thing over here to 4 lanes. And let's turn you back into an avenue. That was a bit of a mistake. Right, so this is all connected. How am I going to connect this to over here, though? I could just use another junction like this. But it's very tempting to get like a Cloverleaf thing going in there. It's really tempting to like swap out this junction for a Cloverleaf junction. Although I would have to bring my highways over the water, wouldn't I? Which I'm not a huge fan of. Let's do a Cloverleaf anyway. Because I'm a swine like that. Because I'm a terrible human being. So, all of that needs to go. We throw the Cloverleaf thing, like, there. That actually lines up beautifully, which is good. That was one of my biggest worries there, was that it wouldn't actually line up, so we got that working. So that all connects. Now all we need to do is bring this down to about there. Bring that up. And get the curve. That is all we need to do is get the curve here. So go up 10 and go down 10. And let's get this curve. Let's figure it out. Come on. Give me that road guideline. We have that turned on as well, so this should be possible. Give me that road guideline. That's what I want. We want this curve. Keep on bringing it down. It only goes so far. Good to know. Okay, this is going to have to come down to that point. And this is going to have to do the same thing. Bit of a weird choice of bridge there, but okay. So this side needs to connect to there. Oh, come on. We're so close. We're so close. I think that's roughly the point there, isn't it? That's going to have to do. This side is a little easier, but there we go. So that's not connected. We have a functioning Cloverleaf, which is pretty cool. Can I get rid of the unnecessary suspension bridge? I think I'm going to have to move some water here. Let me go to flatten out the land a little bit. And let me just do that. All right, so do that. That's going to mess with the water slightly, but no more bridge. Okay, there's a bit of a bump, though. Seems a little bit unnecessary. If I let the game sort of figure out what it's doing with the water, though, that bump should pretty much go away. There we go. Right. So we now have a second entrance to the city. That's pretty cool. That was actually kind of painless. That makes me really happy as well. That was painless. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I am actually feeling pretty good about this. So that is hopefully going to take away a lot of the stress on these roads. I think I will turn the roads into 6-lane roads, though. Just so they can handle a bit more traffic. The same with this one. Because we might very well end up with a lot of traffic going through those spaces. But yeah, there's a decent number of people using it, so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that that's going to do some good stuff for us. There's definitely fewer people going into the city over here, which means this traffic should have a much easier time moving. I like it. I really do. What if we were to actually go one little step further for a second here? Let me try something. So, yeah, we do have the money to do this. I was thinking we'd maybe move towards some other project for a second, but let me do this instead, because I'm a little bit curious. If I was to extend a road, just a regular road, over like this for a second. Well, that's not really going to work, because there's a body of water there. Okay. Instead, if I was to extend this road out, 10 units and turn it to the right 10 units, then bring that straight across. Yes, we get a suspension bridge. But what I want to try and do is connect these two highways, if at all possible. And I want to get a 10 by 10 corner. That's what I want here. I want a 10 by 10 corner. So we need to find the intersection point for these two roads, which is there. Now that's going to be tricky, because I'm pretty sure we can't actually have a merge point there. But is that 10? That's 10 units. Okay. No, that's progress. So, from there to there. Then let me come off of that bit, and let me come off of that bit. So that is our corner. Okay. No, that was painless. That was remarkably painless. That's our corner. Okay. Okay, look at this. Look at me figuring stuff out. All right. Okay. I am quite excited. Quite excited about this indeed. Turn those back into 3-lane highways. Connect that one to there. I know there's it's a weird thing going on there. Bit of a weird looking corner and all that. So that all needs to be turned around. Right, so that now loops around, which is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Very weird looking corner, but I'll keep it for the time being. But now what we need to do is we need to mirror that slightly. So from there to there. And then that's the start of the corner. So we go like that. And then that just needs to be a bigger curve. Yeah, that works perfectly. Oh, that works so perfectly. There we go. So yes, this corner over here, absolute mess. But we have a highway that now loops around. So if someone wants to jump on the highway here, they can go the whole way around if they want to. Oh, I like it. I do. I really like that. I don't know why I really like that, because it's not all that impressive, but man, that's satisfying to do. We have a little bit of demand. I know there's talking in the background. That's the radio doing what the radio does. We have a little bit of demand for residential zoning, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just fill up these two spaces down here, because that might push us up to 15,000 if we get lucky here. We have a fair bit of demand for industrial zoning, so what I'm going to try and do as well is tear out this block and put some offices in there, because I think that could be kind of nice. I'm also thinking I'm going to tear out all of this commercial stuff over here and put some offices in that as well. Just so we can start getting some offices into the city, because we don't have that many of them. So it'd be nice to actually get some. Oh man, look at these. Look at the highways. This area's flowing so nicely now. People are just moving along and doing their thing. There's people that are actually going around as well. That's so cool, man. I'm so happy with this. I wouldn't have been able to properly do that without mass transit either. I would have totally messed up the directions and all that stuff. Like the fact that it does snap in the way that it does, I'm so happy with this expansion. I really am. I realize as well, this video is going out on the release day, so I can now give a fairly comprehensive review of the expansion. I agreed to an embargo that said I couldn't do so before 2 p.m. on the 18th of May 2017. I could show Let's Play stuff after 2 p.m. on the 16th, but I couldn't do a review. And I don't really do reviews of games because what you like in a game might not be the same as what I like in a game. But what I've said to a couple of people already is that mass transit is the expansion that makes me believe that Colossal Order is listening to what people want in City Skylines. Snowfall for me wasn't an amazing expansion. I had fun with it, but it wasn't spectacular. Natural disasters, fairly similar story. To me, natural disasters felt like a very different type of expansion. It didn't feel like an expansion for the creatives. It didn't feel like an expansion for the players that have been playing it since day one. It felt like an expansion that was, hey, jump in, throw a meteor at your city for an hour, and then turn it off again because you've been bored of the game for a couple of months. For me, mass transit, it adds so much stuff that has been available in mods already, but it's not in the vanilla game, and it's all stuff that just makes it a better experience. It feels like a complete kind of experience. You know, you can line up your roads better. You can manage your buses and your transportation better. Like what I can do, if I click on this blimp, I don't know if I showed this, you get details on the line. You know, where is my current blimp? You know, here's this one coming over with 35 people. I can say, maybe I want more people, more blimps on this line. So let's add a third one. There we go. There's now 3 blimps on this line. You even get details on how many people are waiting at the stop. And we're gonna need another blimp because there's 120 something people waiting there. That's far too many. We can't really do anything about that. So getting another blimp on the line, good idea. That's all stuff you can do in the vanilla game, and I absolutely adore it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to leave it there for today. Although before we wrap things up, I'll go ahead and add a bit of commercial zoning just down the side of the highway there, because that's going to look really cool. But yeah, I am going to leave it there for today. Like I said at the start, I want to know what your first crazy experiment's going to be with mass transit. I'm really genuinely curious. And I want to know what you think of it as well. I want to know what your thoughts are on mass transit? Do you feel the same way that I feel with regards to it? Do you think I'm full of it and I'm just spouting stuff to keep Paradox happy? I want a genuine answer, basically. Because I do genuinely really enjoy this expansion. I didn't think it would get me as interested in City Skylines again as it has. So I'm a little surprised. I'm running a little bit on surprise as well. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So with that in mind, thank you kind of for watching. This has been City Skylines Mass Transit Part 6. And I'll see you tomorrow for Part 7. Bye-bye!